I had a great break. I chilled with my family, but the problem with my family is my family's getting so small. I used to have 12 family members. I had I had the entire like 12 days of Christmas as a family. Now it's 5. I have 5 family members. And it's like I'm grateful for them whatever it's kind of depressing when you go home, you know what I mean? You go home and it's like who died, you know? It's like you're playing musical chairs with ghosts. So, I'm not going to Saudi Arabia. Told you. They have to pay me first. They already know the deal. They know the deal. My rate is definitely lower since Tyler 1 went, but they do have to pay me. Next question that people probably are wondering. What did you do when you were home? I want to stalk you. Great question. So you guys probably may have saw my Instagram. I was plastered. I wasn't. I was plastering things on my Instagram. Dude, I went to church. 2 days ago. And it was one of the most depressing moments of my entire life since I looked at my Twitch tracker. My church is dying. And it's dying so fast. And it makes me sad. I was legitimately sad. Because I go to church. My church was the shit. Okay? I live in this place called Montclair, New Jersey. My church was the best. It was everyone's church. You would go to church even if you weren't religious. You would just go because you want to see old friends, families that you haven't seen in years. It was a way for the community to come together during the holidays, and you would just see everybody and you would talk. No one's there. When I went to church, nobody was there. When I was a kid, you would have to show up an hour early to get a seat. And if you didn't, you were standing. And there were sometimes people standing all the way in the back. Not this time. I showed up 5 minutes before, and I sat in almost the front row. Why is that possible? You go to church, you see a lot of your old friends and families and people because everyone comes home for Christmas. No one's there. Why? It's not necessarily, I think, that the religion is dying in my area, because I think a lot of people are still religious. I think, one, COVID f***ed it up. I think COVID did f*** up people getting in the rhythm of going to church with their family. Because it wasn't just religion. I'm telling you, people weren't religious and they would just go to church. It's just a Christmas thing. I wasn't religious, but I liked going to church because I would see all my friends. And then number 2, why I think the church is dying. No one lives in my town anymore. Nobody lives. Dude, my friends all moved. I was stalking them all on Instagram. No one's there. No one lives in New Jersey. No one lives in New Jersey. They all live in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Massachusetts, California. None of them live in New Jersey because they can't afford it. Dude, chat, my hometown is a middle-class area. Middle class. Always has been. Most of my friends were not poor, but they didn't have a lot of money. Middle class, lower middle class. There's obviously some uppers, right? No one's home. All my friends, their parents sold their house, and they can't afford it. Dude, houses in my neighborhood are literally a shack nowadays. It's like this. This is a home. I would say maybe it's 1,600 square feet. You've got no backyard whatsoever. And, you know, you've got this at the top. It's like a chimney. And then you usually have like, a person up there fixing the chimney. And they're usually holding hands. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I'm drawing a cake. This thing is $550,000 now in my hometown. 600 grand. And it needs so much work. It's my parents' house doubled in the past 5 or 10 years. It's insane. No one can afford anything. So everyone's leaving. But what's crazy is one of my parents' friends is a real estate agent. And I'm talking to her. I'm like, hey, like, what's going on around here? And she said, Matt, you're probably thinking that no one's buying houses because they doubled in price, right? I'm like, well, yeah, no one can afford housing in the area. Clearly people are just not buying these fucking houses, right? She said, I've done a bunch of deals this year, and almost every deal in your hometown was cash. What? Yeah, cash. They're doing cash deals in my town for the houses that have doubled in price that are shitholes. Like, when I say shitholes, I mean they're like from the 1970s. You have to gut out the entire thing. And, you know, these are from the Reagan administration. That sounded really impressive. I said that, didn't it? One in chat if you did not expect that to come out of my mouth. Who's buying these homes? Who is buying from the Reagan administration? Don't I sound smart? The Reagan administration, because she said that. Who's buying these homes? In cash, chat. And I asked her, I said, who do you think's buying these homes? In my hometown. That was a middle class area that now my friends can't have children in. My friends' parents can't live there, and they don't live there because they sold their homes. Who's buying these homes? She said, you're not going to believe it, and it's insane. China. I'm like, I'm so confused. And she said, a lot of people from other foreign countries are buying property in the area, in the New Jersey, New York area, and they're buying these properties, and they don't even live in them, and they're just sitting on them, and it's all over the place. What's going on? Now, the reason why Montclair's, I guess, wanted, chat, is because, dude, shut up. Montclair is an area that's right next to New York City. So, like, you would take there's a train in New York, or in Montclair, that goes right to New York City. So maybe that's it. I tried seeing a lot of my friends for Christmas. I was calling them. I'm like, hey, you want to go to the bars? You want to do this and that? None of my friends live in New Jersey anymore. They all moved, or they live down South Jersey or Pennsylvania, 2 hours away. I don't have any friends. I was in my hotel for 8 hours on Christmas Eve because I just had no one to hang out with, but I had a good time. You want to know why, chat? While I was in the hotel, you're never going to believe this. I have been reading Harry Potter. I have been reading, and I have been feeling so good reading. I've been feeling so good. I've been reading Harry Potter for 2 weeks straight, and I'm like, oh my god, because I think the problem is I've just been reading the books I don't like, but I started reading it because I'm like, God, what does this book have? It's got to be good, right? It can't be bad. And I'm like reading it, and I'm like, and I just been reading a chapter or two a night, and I have been loving it. And I'm like, maybe I've been reading a lot of self-help books over the past few years, and it feels like homework when I'm reading. But now I'm reading this book, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is what I like. And I love it. And I'm reading it, I'm like, wait a minute, my brain feels like it's like thanking me after I've starved it for 7 years of just nonstop TikTok spam. It's thanking me that it's finally getting nutrients of learning something. It's like, wait a minute, there's wizards out there? I'm like, yes, brain, yes, there are wizards. It feels so good. And I'm like, finally, I'm like, thank God. My brain's happy. I gotta start reading. I have to. My brain is just like a peanut now. My brain used to be a peanut tree. So we need to make my brain grow, which means we are going to start learning things on stream. I know what you're saying. No, we are not. And you're right, we're not going to. I'm just saying stuff. So you learned about China buying houses in Montclair, New Jersey. That's pretty fucking good, right? Very interesting stuff. So, in the end, I've been reading Harry Potter. It's pretty fucking good. Dudley's my favorite character because he reminds me a lot about myself. But I love it. I'm not going to watch movies. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to focus on the books. I'm not reading them. Look, I'm a now. I'm not watching the movies. I'm just going to read the books. Because the books are better. Don't know. But I'm just saying that.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.